lessons from TCP echo through our mind. Use the knowledge gained. See what Trim Capital Partners built a beast to cut through the flash. TCP Supersystem, your crypto equity analyzer, scans the uptrends, downtrends, turns chaos to fire. Mean reversion data pulls the strings from the past. Main indicator lights the path. Hot sensors hit fast. From Bitcoin's roar to stock tickers grind. It spots the sweet spots. Green diamond gleaming. Buy zones on the rise. Red diamond flashing. Time to cut ties wise. Opportunity zones, crypto, stocks in the game. TCP signal screaming. Ignite the flame. Level 2, level 3 alerts. Charts come alive. APJ and edge. Help you live and thrive. Unleash the beast. Let the signals play right. In this modern market, gotta master the fight. Scalping the moves, riding waves like a pro. With TCP by your side, watch your portfolio grow. Tracking every trend, leveraging the best, taking calculated risks, striving for success in the trading room, buzzing with screens all aglow. Together we rise, together we flow. Green diamond gleaming, eyes on passion. Time to cut ties wise. Opportunities on
Give me 1 second, friends.
TCP signal screaming, ignite the flame. Level 2, level 3 alerts, charts come alive. FAT's in an edge. Help you live and thrive.
All right, I'm just trying to see if y'all can hear me. Can y'all give me heads up in the chat if y'all can hear me?
Signals are transmitting, secrets we unveil.
Can y'all hear me?
TCP Supersystem.
All right, good deal. So welcome in everybody. Jason, TCP Supersystem. This will be the first live chat we've got. It is storming where I'm at, so sorry for the technical difficulties. A couple houses in the market, but I have set the chat to subscribers only. So if you do want to engage and you do want to present the tickers that you want to see in the super system, you do have to subscribe, and then you'll be able to chat. Tonight we'll be running through Bitcoin XRP, and then I'll be monitoring the chat, and we can go through any cryptos you want. Just to make sure, I did turn the music down. Is the music, it should be in the background, is it at a good lower? Sounds good? All right, good deal. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As always, super system signals, interpretations, charts, trades are not financial advice, information, education only. Use the system to identify opportunity zones in cryptos and stocks. It has done me very well. I share this because I want to. We're not monetized, so keep that in mind. And before we look at Bitcoin, I do want to let y'all know, I don't know if y'all saw, obviously Trump and the administration seized an oil tanker the other day. Now Maduro and his regime have, I guess, requested their Navy escort their oil tankers. So this is going to get very interesting. If we see oil spike, if you go out and look at some of the YouTubers out there like Jake Claver, who's a big XRP fan, one of the biggest dominoes for him is the oil prices. So if we see conflict with Venezuela, plus you have the Russia and Ukraine deal, plus Middle East turmoil still, so watch oil. And obviously tonight as well, within the next hour, I believe we're going to have the rate decision coming from Japan. If you go out and look, there's the whole reverse carry trade message that's out there that's going to cause a lot of liquidations. Trillions are predicting even crypto to tank. I think this could be a scenario where you see what we call those scam wicks, one big wick down, and then off to the races will probably go. But I want to show you where we are on some of these cryptos tonight, because we are approaching some of the bottom zones of these leverage areas, which is typically a fantastic opportunity. And if you look here, this is the, make sure y'all are seeing this. We may be buffering. So do I agree with Jake and his price prediction? If so, I better go find some money. Also, can you repeat what you just said? You might cut out. Yeah, so sorry, we're having some bad weather here, so I may be having some internet connectivity issues, but I've seen Jake's predictions. He's calling for $100 by end of December, which is only 2 weeks away, and $1,500 by the end of first quarter. I don't typically give a specific price point because I let the data speak for us, but I find it to be very difficult that we can go 50x plus in the next 2 weeks. Granted, I think the Japan reverse carry trade is a real thing, and if you go research Japan, XRP and Ripple and that technology is going to be integrated and is integrated for that economy. And I think it will be a saving grace for them. And if you look at SBI, the biggest bank over there, they're all in on XRP. There's actually some news out tonight where one of their subsidiaries, or I think it's SBI VC maybe, they have now a lending protocol that's out there that it does XRP, but it does other ones as well, where you can lend them your tokens and lock them up for, I think it's a certain period of time. It might be up to at least 30 days or up to a certain amount of time. It's in the article. But then they'll pay you basically interest on that, on those tokens. So very interesting at a time when we expect to see a lot of liquidations from other markets. A lot of that money will be flowing back to that Japanese market. And I keep saying this, watch out for this. Meta Planet, I think it's going to be massive. I can't tell you to buy it, but I have some friends of mine, I can tell you this, that are heavily invested in Meta Planet. It's very cheap at the moment, and if they manage their Bitcoin stash appropriately, they're basically the Japanese strategy with Michael Saylor. So watch Meta Planet. We'll look at that tonight as well. But yeah, I don't know, $100. If you said $10 or $15 or $20, maybe. Again, we'll look at the charts. I can show you the zones. But, when you're dealing with geopolitical issues, anything can happen at any time. So, he could very well be right. I just wouldn't bank it on 100 or 1,500. I can't wait if it does do that. I guess I'll keep coming on here, but it would certainly be a life-changing moment, I can tell you that. So, even at $100 it would be life-changing. So let me see, anybody else in the chat real quick? Should we switch our zone to Meta Planet? So we'll get to zone here. I will tell you this, I am still in zone. Dogecoin, and we'll look at Dogecoin here in a minute as well. But real quick, let me show you. So this extreme fear and greed I've got on the screen, hopefully y'all can see this, because my screen on my side does not show what I want it to be showing. Are y'all seeing charts right now? Or are y'all seeing the fear and greed? I just want a jacuzzi. Yeah, me too. We're having some connectivity issues. What do y'all see on the screen? Can somebody type in the chat? Green chart. Okay, good deal. So the fear and greed index, this is at a 10. This is, it's almost basically an all-time low. I think the lowest I've ever seen this is a 9. And I also think we've been in a zone of fear or extreme fear. What is this going back to? What? Back to at least basically November 14th. So that's over almost a month and pushing a month and a half here. That's the longest period of time we've been in that zone ever. And I think we all know what happens after we exit that zone. So be careful. Get some conviction, do some research, know what you hold if you have the good projects. Even if we see some volatility in the short term, I don't think we'll all be disappointed come this time next year. So could be a very happy Christmas. So just confirmation, so I know I'm talking to the right picture here. Make sure y'all can see the TCP Supersystem at this point, the two split screens. Just give me a yes in the chart in the chat.
In the storm we stand tall, with knowledge and courage.
All right. All right, so we'll look at Bitcoin here, and this really hadn't changed a whole lot. Again, these are the same zones we've had a demo that we're at, and currently is 80,492.
TCP
Now,
Supersystem.
I will say Michael Saylor continues to buy, but if I'm not mistaken, I guess his average entry is right around the mid 70s, 75, 76,000 if I recall. So it's going to get very interesting if we drop below 80,000. That could almost be a black swan. So we'll have to see. Again, this could be, we hit the bottom of that zone first. Again, I think that's just causing some massive leverage liquidations. We're talking about millions of dollars. And actually, tell you what, we will look at that real quick. Let me pull up Bitcoin here just to see. I'm imagining it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars. But we should definitely be getting toward the bottom. So here you can see, there's $101 million of leverage down at 72,387. And that's not even the bottom. We get to zero at 66,711. And if you look at our chart, I believe, our bottom of our third zone is 66,386. If Venezuela unfolds the way I think it is, with the navies competing now over these oil tankers, and who knows what with Russia and Ukraine, anything happens with oil in Japan, we could see a quick wick down here before we go much higher. I think I saw some people come out as well predicting 180,000 by the end of next year for Bitcoin. So long term, it's hard to fight it. It is Bitcoin. There's treasuries, there's governments, there's the elite, there's family offices, investment houses, 401ks, you name it. They're all fighting over Bitcoin. There's not that many out there, so 10 years from now, it's going to be very interesting. But that is Bitcoin. So you can see, again, we always tell you, standard deviation methodology is at the top up here on the daily view. We're not there yet. All three lines are still down here toward those lower extremes. We need that white line up here breaking through that red zone into those upper extremes. So a long ways to go here. The good news is, on the weekly view for Bitcoin, you can see we're basically approaching or bouncing right off that 100-day moving average. So that's typically an area of support, but just so happens to be right where we are in the middle of this zone. So very interesting here. We could see a little support, but we'll see what Japan does this evening, which should impact the markets tomorrow if it's not priced. Our 25 basis point move in their rates. Of course, as Japan goes up, the U.S. goes down. It's going to be squeezing that differential there in the arbitrage. So that's where you're going to see a lot of liquidations. So that is Bitcoin. XRP, again, for transparency, this is one of my largest ones. We don't ever sell it. We do add to it. You can see, again, here's another smack dab in the middle of it. The one thing that bothers me on XRP is all three of the hot sensors at the bottom. We're not really showing any extreme price action here. We're gray, we're blue, and was that white? So that's not in any kind of extreme sold off scenario, which kind of makes me believe we're going to at least test the bottom of this one at 170, and then my third zone is down here around 144 to 150. A dollar, I think that would be a scam wick scenario where you would see that bounce like we saw last time over here. Here is the wick back on October 10th. That thing was a pure leverage liquidation. It went from, 280 down to $1, back to 238 the same day. So pure leverage liquidation, guys. But we'll see a lot of times this plays out just like this, though. When you see these scam wicks, they tend to scam wick, go back up, and then over time, it tends to follow that trajectory and it ends up back where that wick was, which just so happens to be $1. So very interesting. Excuse me one second. So that is XRP. So I wouldn't be so shocked here to see more downward pressure in the short term. I don't really care. I think we all know what's happening. Japan's going to use it when all these liquidations start happening, and they need to unwind that carry trade. Let's see what's happening on my stream here. Okay. Again, for XRP, standard deviation lines still in the lower extremes. None of them are even close to the green zone yet, so a lot of work to do. Now, on the weekly view, we have got a level 1 diamond today, so that's positive development, I guess. We're still not there. Obviously, we're looking for level 2s and level 3s. Level 3s being the darkest diamond that you can get. So, still some work to do. We'll go with... So, two of the ones I've been discussing lately, Aptos and Jupiter. Obviously, Jupiter being a Solana token. That's one that I'm very interested in. So we'll do Jupiter first. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. I don't know what else to say. This thing's lower extreme standard deviation, so still some pressure here. But we are literally approaching the bottom of that zone at basically 16 cents, just above 16 cents. We got some red on the medium term. So again, that can change rapidly. I mean, that can skip a color, maybe one or two. We should start seeing some diamonds here shortly on Jupiter. So keep your eye out there. And I've shown this the last couple days, or last couple streams. Look at this. Level 3 diamonds on the weekly view, smack dab at the bottom. Red on the hot sensor. And when you get red hot sensors on both daily and weekly, really the only thing I'm looking for here is a level 2 or 3 diamond and that white line to be at least in that red zone. I think if we see that for Jupiter, this thing could get real interesting. Obviously, upper zones, we've got 2 identified, the upper being somewhere around 60 cents. So again, that's over a 3x. So again, not telling you to buy it, but could be a fantastic opportunity because as Solana ecosystem grows, it's already got mass appeal, a lot of institutions' interest. I think, how that plays out. Let's go to Aptos. And then if y'all want to see any tokens, go ahead and put those in the chat. I'll be watching, or at least try to watch the chat as we go through here. Then obviously we can look at whatever y'all want to look at if you have any specifics that you want to take a peek at. So let's go back to Aptos real quick. Looking pretty good here. Give me 1 second. So Aptos, again, approaching that near that bottom. We still got, what are we at right now? 146. Bottom of that zone, 130. Again, just like the last one, we got two hot sensors here, 2 hot sensors on the weekly with level 3 diamonds. Really the only thing I would be looking for here at this point, I probably wouldn't even really care about diamonds on Aptos. It's probably more the white line in our standard deviation. Where we want it to be. So just waiting on that. We're going to see. I'll probably start doing live streams, maybe not every single night, but most of my recordings from now on will be live streams. It just makes it easier for me as long as we're not having any technical problems. But yeah, so I'll be doing these pretty frequently going forward because I think we're nearing the one of the biggest opportunities of a lifetime. So as these things unfold, as we live, I'm not making it up. It's legit, and hopefully it can help you in your research efforts. Lisa, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Lisa. I know you've been very engaging with us so far. We certainly appreciate that. Like I said, I'm a small channel, probably growing quicker than I thought I would here. I think as more and more people start to see this stuff, the building this thing through some painful trades so I could prevent that from happening ever again, and the last 2 years has been fantastic. So one last message, it would be nice to have updates how close everything is to supposedly taking off. Well, it's again, no one has the crystal ball here. I can tell you the reason I do these just so happens to coincide with upward price movements or downward price movements, depending on which side of the charts we're on. I mean, I think literally to Jake's point, I think this could be a matter of days here. I think you will see extreme volatility. I think it'll be fast. It'll be a V-shaped recovery. I don't think it'll be some long, drawn out, bear market. But again, we've seen a lot of volatility already. I mean, this thing, just for Aptos here, we were trading at, what is the top up here? Over $15. We're at $1.48. How long ago was that? That was back on December 8th of last year. So I hate to think this way, because I do feel like we're still in a bull market, but that's a bear market. So I don't, usually those are a year to year and a half. So if you wanted to be, put something out there, I guess you could say 6 more months. But I just don't see that happening, not for all these tokens. Especially XRP and some of these ones that have a defined use case. Again, remember, XRP, maybe besides Bitcoin, inventory clarity. So, and obviously Ripple just got their conditional approval for their banking license. So keep that in mind. I think the banks are going to be using XRP. For those that don't know who I am, I was in banking for 17 years. I can tell you that technology has the potential to save banks millions of dollars on just transaction fees, especially cross-border payments, conversion fees, all that. When you think it's going to be remarkable, I think the banks are going to have to leverage the technology to stay relevant, to stay competitive. I think it's, obviously we've had the ISO stuff come out here this year. That was just the beginning, and now the banks are implementing, or actually have implemented, and now it's time to roll. So. Lisa, I hope you grow to a large audience. You're my favorite by far. Your delivery is the best. Listen, I'm an ordinary person. I did study finance at Auburn University. Graduated, I won't tell you how long ago. It's been many, many years. I love the markets. My granddad got me into the markets when I was probably 16. Started trading stocks at 18 in high school, and then so forth and so on. I actually interviewed to be a broker, but I will tell you this, and this is just an opinion. Sorry if any of you are brokers. I don't care if I hit XRP to 1,000 and have hundreds of millions of dollars. I will never have a broker my entire life. Managing money will be a job. That's what I'm basically doing now. But I went through an interview process to be a broker, and I'm not going to tell you what company. It's a major player, but it was terrible. They literally just wanted my list of people, contacts, and what their occupation was without me even having a job. And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to take that and have a call list. So it was pretty bad. So I just don't trust brokers. And my grandmother, every time she gives me a call telling me what her broker told her to do, I'm like, no. And probably 90% of the time I've been correct, and she's thanked me several times for that. But I'll get off my soapbox there. Let's see here. Avalanche. That's another good one. That's beautiful, man. Jeez. I like Avalanche. I think it has long-term potential. I think there's already tokenization happening with that platform. Again, it's going to be connected to some of these other blockchains. I like this, and this is what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. Let's see. Give me a yes if you're in the chat still. Yep, there's one. Okay. On my side, my technical side, I've got some crazy stuff going on. So as long as we're good, we're good. So on the weekly view here for Avalanche, again, you can see this stuff doesn't lie. This is our third cluster of level 3 diamonds on the downside here. First one was back in July of last year. You saw what happened. We hit level 3s. You saw what happened. We got level 3s now. You saw what happened. We got to level 2s. Now we're down, and we got level 3s again. Red hot sensors on the weekly. And remember that weekly view, the right side over here, that's a long-term outlook when you're looking at these charts. When you start getting level 3s, and especially at clusters of level 3s, I'm just going to say that's a pretty good sign for me historically. And that's when I typically will go look at the daily view. Again, you can see we're orange on 2 of those, so we just a little bit more here. it looks like we might be penetrating either through the bottom of that zone, maybe a little bit lower, but this could very well be a very, very, very nice opportunity here. We are in the zone, so it's just a matter of how greedy you want to be. Again, upper zone here for Avalanche 33 plus. So what is that? That's a, let's just call it a 3x, give or take. Not too bad. I'm going to do Dogecoin just because I think y'all probably are aware of the trade that I made several weeks ago now. You can see the line. I did that on a recording. I showed proof of that trade. So clearly, I didn't want to really buy it at 18 cents. I did think I could get it at 15, which I could have. Now, granted, I didn't know it was going to go down to 12, but this is the one that's going to impact zone, which is the stock, which we'll go over after this one. But again, even for Dogecoin here, it's a meme coin, obviously. I usually don't like messing with meme coins because this is the kind of garbage you deal with. But right now, I think all the tokens are doing this. And hey, take a look. The market's turned here. Bitcoin's up 1,700. Excuse me. Ooh, I'm talking too much. Hang on. Excuse me one second. Let me pour some of this in here. I can get some moisture on my throat. Ooh. But yeah, you can see here, XRP is up 4 cents right now, back to 185. So it's trying to hang in there. But again, go back to Doge. We're at the bottom of that leverage zone again for Doge here at 12 cents, just well 12.5 cents, let's say, give or take. Obviously, I'm getting crushed on that one, but again, I'm holding that for long term. Hopefully next year with the ETFs, we see some upward price action there. Again, hot sensors don't look too great. We're only in the yellow, so but hopefully this thing can bounce off off the low here. Upper zone there, 30 cents. So that'd be a nice gain if I can hit it. I'm going to extend that out just a little bit. Cluster of diamonds over here. It did the same thing, basically at the same level last time, which is around the 200-day moving average. So, I mean, let me see something here. So last time we hit this level on the weekly, yeah, see that the hot sensors, that medium term hot sensor right here, it was actually above the midline. We're actually down below it now. So it's probably, sorry guys, it's probably, hang on a second, I've got something in my throat. Sorry about that. Yeah, the fact we're already down below the midline here and we're declining, hopefully that's a sign that we're closer to the bottom, or potential bottom. So we'll keep monitoring that one. So I'm going to switch over just real quick to zone. That thing, man. So I'm in at 112. It's at 28 cents. So, you know, I probably jumped the gun on that one. Obviously, we were in a confirmed downtrend. You saw the red cloud. Now, when I did that, we were red. You know, we had a couple of level 3 diamonds. It's just continued. And again, that's going to be reflective of Dogecoin. So if Dogecoin picks up, this thing's going to really pick up. You know, granted, I need a 4x or 3x to get back to even, but I think if this thing were to run and there was any kind of institutional adoption or interest in those ETFs, I think this could be a powerhouse. But that would be, for me, that's an extreme gamble. I didn't invest a whole lot in that one, but it is a stock that I do hold. And that's Clean Core Solutions. And then one that we all care about, MetaPlanet. Man, look at this thing. So if I don't know the exact numbers of Bitcoin they have, I think Strategy may be number 1 with Michael Saylor, but they're like 2 or 3. And we're talking about, I mean, billions of dollars of Bitcoin, right? So right now we're at 258. You can see we hit these level 3s back here. That was back on May 22nd. That thing had spiked up to 1567. Now we're trading at 258, people. You can see right here, that yellow label, that is a confirmed uptrend, which means basically that red cloud has transitioned to green. That's positive. Now, granted, just like you saw here, it's nice to see that. I don't really judge a trade based on that because you can get volatility and sideways chop. And when you get sideways chop, you can get, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. But it's good to see. And if we zoom in, like we always tell you, it pumps above the cloud. It hit the area of resistance, which is just so happened to be the 50-day moving average. We got a diamond and it retraced back to the cloud, which is exactly where we are now. That's typically the pattern we see. Now with this one, at the same time, look at where we are on the hot sensors. Long term on the daily, red. That's actually improved from red to yellow on the medium term. We had a crossover here. Let me blow that up a little bit. We had a crossover here on the short term daily hot sensor. I like that. I will say this right here is all we're waiting on. We want the white line to be above that red zone. And look at all the level 3 diamonds over here coming off of the red zone back to orange. That's improvement. The only thing we need to be careful of here is the bottom of the red clouds. That's an area of volatility. So it very well could trend lower if we see some massive liquidation. But here's my theory on this one, which aligns with Jake sort of. If you think about Japan, if you really see a true unfolding of that carry trade or unwind of that carry trade, money's going to flow out of markets back to Japan. You don't think their stocks are going to benefit from that? Companies that are based in Japan? Something tells me it will benefit heavily, especially if Japan's all in on crypto, XRP, Bitcoin, etc. I think this could absolutely be a monster. So again, can't tell you to buy anything. I'm not a financial advisor, but I will tell you that is one that I'm going in. So I have friends that have already done it, but you have to do your research, make your decision. I'm just trying to tell you what the system tells me and the areas of opportunity that we see, and that is one of them right now. So that is MetaPlanet. Let's go with how about this? I'll give it to the chat. Hoping to get in at 10 cents. Laura, is that you talking about XRP? If you get in at 10 cents, God bless you. God bless you. I hope you do. Or which one are you talking about? If they're still here. I'll give you a second to respond, then I'll move on. Zone? Hell, I mean, yeah. Hell, I'll be honest. Let me look at the zone again. 10 cents would be remarkable. I'd probably have to dollar cost average some more, to be honest, to lower my base. I probably should do it now, to be honest. I mean, if I could put in a very little bit of money and lower my base by probably 3/4 of 100, 75%. So I mean, I'll have to look at that. I'm a little uncomfortable with it. Let me see if they have anything. Look at this. This is garbage. See, CFO buys 18,000 Clean Core Solutions stocks shares. That's $5,000. A CFO buying $5,000 worth of stock is nothing. That is not a big deal. And this is going to be reliant on Dogecoin, I believe, because this is a Dogecoin treasury company, basically. So at this point, and this is why you see these big downturns. Just all chat companies or treasury companies that are heavily focused on one crypto. What they do with their stock is, you'll see a big rise in that stock. They'll sell shares, dilute the stock, whether that's Class A, Class B, whatever, debt, could be debt too. But they're going to raise money so they can buy the crypto. And over time, their holdings are going to be massive. And that's what MetaPlanet does. That's what Strategy does. Now, Michael Saylor's a genius, but I think his will be around a while unless we just have an absolute disaster, black swan, crypto market just goes to squat. But this is what you have to think about, people, because people are going to try to fudge you out, shake you out of your positions. This is a truly transformational moment in history, not just our lifetimes. I mean, I think this is probably one of the highest ROI opportunities that we'll probably ever see in our lifetimes. I mean, we're talking about a complete transformation of the financial system, like Ripple and others, BlackRock, etc. Bitwise. By the way, Bitwise just launched or just submitted an application for a SWE, which we'll look at SWE, a SWE spot ETF. FYI, there's also other HBAR ones coming as well. But I mean, the rails are in place for a new financial system, and if you go back and look, this is something I learned a long time ago when I started in crypto. By the way, it's 2012. If that gives you any idea. Then they sue it. Then they regulate it. Then they join it. So if you think about all that, we've had some legislation passed. We've got more legislation coming, probably first quarter. What's next? The mass adoption. So that's where we are. Again, I think this is the last major shakeout before we see an astronomical boom. Just opinion. But again, yeah, if you can get zoned at 10 cents, all power to you. There's probably plenty of other horses out there that can probably even do bigger returns than that one. So just do some research. I'll be honest. If XRP goes much lower, I may have to pile in some more on that one. I don't know. Let's look at strategy real quick. And look at this. So this is going to be consistent in most of these treasury companies. Strategy was trading at $450. That was back on July 15th. There's been some dilution. Obviously, Bitcoin's come down from 120,000 plus down to where it is now, which is 87,000 basically. So yeah, sure. And at the time, if you go back and look and do some research, right now it's a discount to NAV. So their market cap's less than their holdings, which is crazy. So pay attention to that. And look at this for strategy. This is amazing. Red hot sensors. We're getting some orange over here on the weekly. We do have level 3 diamonds. We're approaching the 200-day moving average. Massive and massive. So watch strategy. I'm telling you. Then we're going to cover SWE real quick since I just mentioned that one. Why not? Trading at 138. Look at this opportunity here, folks. Approaching the bottom of our zone, which is going to be around 123-ish to 125. We don't have any diamonds yet, which is unfortunate. We do have some orange and red on the hot. Not ready yet. So that's why the next couple of days I'll be coming probably through the weekend. You may not. I don't know how I'm going to work around the Christmas holiday. Maybe the day or two before Christmas. I may not do anything Christmas. We are going to be in town, so I may put something out and just continue these live streams daily now because we're approaching what we want to see, and I want y'all to see it real time. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, in the chat, tell me what you're holding or how much you have, but just tell me what are your favorite tokens. I would be curious to make sure I cover those in the future videos. But SWE here, almost a triple bottom here in this zone. It's amazing how it works. Again, just waiting on that white line. So that's kind of where we are. Obviously, there's got ETFs coming that should provide some. I'll say it should provide. There's been over $1 billion of inflows into the XRP ETFs, and we're tanking. So, but granted, don't let that shock you, because if you go back and look at the Bitcoin ones, same thing. ETFs came out, Bitcoin crashed for like 1 to 2 weeks, and then boom, off it went. So I think we're approaching that 2 weeks. So just pay attention. What else we got? XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, Doge, Algo, ADA. Laura, I like you. We're in the same boat here. So I think I have every single one of those. No Algo right now. That's the only one I don't have on that list. I won't tell you how much, but I can tell you this. XRP, a lot. XLM, a lot. XDC, a lot. HBAR, a ton. Doge, a lot. ADA, a lot. So, well, hey, that could very well be all you need for the rest of your life. So hopefully you are very blessed in the years to come. You can achieve financial freedom and spend the time with your friends or your family, whatever your scenario is, and enjoy life. Because I can tell you this, coming from banking for a lot of years, sitting in cubicles is not what people are meant to do. And I think that's part of the high rates of depression in society today. You got a lot of drugs out there, a lot of meds, people sitting in cubicles that are gray, looking out dark windows. It's just not what humans are meant to do for 8 hours a day. So obviously I made some changes in my life, made some different career choices, and fortunately for me, very, very, very soon, this will likely be the only thing that I get to focus on. Just depends on, and hopefully I can continue to bring this to my subscriber base for free. I do have some plans next year, which I'll reveal when we get a little closer to that time next year. There will be some things coming that I think y'all will really appreciate and like. So with that was SWE. Let's see what else. You said Cardano. I do like Cardano, so I will look at Cardano. I'll tell you what. I want to show y'all something here too. This is interesting because future videos, so y'all can understand these charts. And when I'm speaking, we always say a lot. We want that white line to be up in these extremes, but there's two other elements to that. The orange line we want to be, I'll say through that green zone, but at least right. And if you zoom in, you can see it's definitely not. But penetrating through the top of that green zone, and the blue line we want usually the kicking point to go higher. So for example, for Cardano here, you can see we hit that downtrend. It's a red cloud, but we hit up here. But look at where the lines were, and we tell you a lot of times if those lines aren't ready yet, a lot of times you'll see it turn over, and it turned over. Did it again. At this time it got a little closer, but still the orange line still wasn't through it, and the blue line wasn't really close to it, and it turned over. So that we're looking for there. So again, white line in the upper extremes, orange line penetrating through the top of the green, blue line approaching the green. That's strength in this system. And if that lines up coming off of diamonds and red on the hot sensors, that's you will see me. That's going to happen here. And when it does, I will be cheering you all on because you will know what's happening. So I don't want to chew in your ear. So that's Cardano. Again, we're approaching the bottom of the zone there. Again, 31 cents. It's at 36. So what's 20 more? That's still 20. See, people don't realize, 36 to 31 cents doesn't sound like much. That's 20% though. So depending on what you're investing and how much money you have at stake, 20% can be a lot. So, and that can be a lot. That can make for a much larger opportunity when things start to scale higher. So, but again, once you start hitting these zones, especially when you start approaching the bottom and you're getting the color schemes and the diamonds that you want to see, it's just, again, how greedy do you want to be? So that's how I look at all this, and that's how I make my decisions. But I've got some low buy orders ready. Which one? For Cardano? New. I will tell you, I did have some Shiba Inu a while back. I was battling over Shiba Inu and Bonk because Bonk was a Solana token, and I just think all things on Solana will benefit from Solana's ecosystem and the growth that they're going to see. So I had switched out of Shiba a while back into Bonk, but then I switched out of Bonk into Doge. So because the ETFs, to me, I could very well be wrong here, but if you see institutional interest in ETFs being formed for, I don't care if it's a meme coin or not, it's probably what I'm going to be chasing in the short term, at least. That's where the money flows are going to be. And if you're talking about billions and billions of dollars, then we'll see what happens. All of them. I've got some low buy orders ready. Oh, all of those tokens you said. Yeah, I don't blame you. Good luck. I hope they hit. I'll be honest. I don't do I do market orders, and I do it for a reason. And I guess it doesn't really matter, but I just feel like when you have leverage and you do limit orders, they can see these order books. It's visible, and it's amazing how many times in the past before I learned all this, I did limit orders, and it would literally get down to like 1 to 2 cents to my limit order, and it wouldn't fill. And I just got really tired of that. And when I stopped doing that, it was amazing
like, I mean, I had to physically go put my orders in when I wanted to make my market order, but it worked more times than not. So I don't know if that's just coincidence, but it's just weird when you really start looking at this over a long period of time. And I've got friends that do limit orders now, and I can tell you, I mean, I don't know a percentage, but a lot of times it goes right down to the point where they want to buy it and right back up before their market or before their limit order fills. So so is all this, the leverage zones. These leverage zones, how many times have you seen these things bounce to the bottom of a leverage zone, bounce right back to the upper leverage zone, and then back down to the middle? It's just all liquidations, folks. That's how the game is played. And what I've done is, obviously the green boxes I put on here, that's public information. It's just this website I go to. But when you see that schemes and the diamonds on top of these zones, that's where I've crushed it personally. So that's why I share it this way with my community, because it's been very well. I'm not saying it's worked 100% of the time, but I'm a very patient person, and it's worked a very high percentage of the time. I will say that, but that's all I can say. XRP moving up. Let's do it, baby. 4 cents still. Yeah, it's up 2%. It's 185. I'm actually going to tool I use here in a minute just to see the Japanese rate decision should be coming out here in 8 minutes. So keep in mind. Hey, let me take a drink for this one. A lot of times, people are so scared. We're in this extreme fear zone. Oh, the Japan reverse carry trade, blah, blah, blah. Right? It's max fear factor. What happens 95% of the time? Retail folks get scared. They have more emotion. They sell during these extreme fear zones or windows. Institutions are buying the hell out of this stuff. I mean, it's out there publicly. On these websites. I wouldn't be shocked if Japan raises rates and you see crypto go up, because most people think it's going to tank. So, but like I said, it's just amazing how we're already sitting here at the bottom of these zones. Could we see a scam wick down? Sure. That's why I'm not trying to chase it, and I'm not trying to. I'm losing my phone here, folks. I'm not trying to sit here and catch a falling knife, because you could miss out one of the biggest opportunities of your lifetime. So I'll just let it do what it does, and then 1 to 3 years from now, patient people who had conviction, I think, will have the last laugh. So 75 cents is supposed to be what unravels it. Like Japan getting to 75 basis points, because I think if they raise 25 basis points, I think they'll be at 75 basis or 0.75. So that's what's expected. The question is, do they go more than a quarter point? If they go more than a quarter point, you could really see some pressure. That's what I think people are worried about. Oh, they did raise it already? Okay, so they announced it? Okay. So quarter point. So basically market expectations there. So we'll see, crypto, I think, I also think what you're going to see here, and I don't know if a lot of people feel this way, but basically crypto to me is the new stock market. Your millennials and your younger folks, they're not interested in stocks most of the time. Stocks are for baby boomers. They're all getting to the point where they're starting to think about passing that money on to their loved ones, setting structures up to do that, to liquidate. And I think when all that money from the baby boomers, whatever it is, I think a lot of that money is going to flow right into the crypto market. So I think the crypto for the next, really foreseeable future is going to be absolutely massive. I think some people, I think Sailor, I forgot what his number was, but he said Bitcoin would grow to 20 trillion, then 200 trillion, and we got some lightning. So if I lose y'all, I apologize. We got a thunderstorm happening down here where I'm at in the country. So if we lose you, I'll be coming back tomorrow. But if not, I'll stay on here as long as people want to see anything or have questions. Unanimous. Let's see. Did it really go up to that? Yes. Fire sales. So I can't wait to see what the stock market does tomorrow, because obviously it's daytime over there in Japan. So any stock market impact would be tomorrow for us, obviously. So we'll see. what it does. And actually, tell you what, I don't know if y'all are familiar with futures or not. I used to trade futures as well, and I actually have my futures list here. I'm just curious to look at. Let's go. That's the E-mini. This is the E-mini Dow. I'm just curious what it's doing here. So you look at this. So this is going to be kind of cool. Now, granted, I will say this on stuff like futures and this type of market. My system, I mean, you're not going to really see the same kind of formations you will as with crypto because the volatility isn't there. But some of the same signals would apply, but I just don't think you're going to see them. You certainly don't see these hot sensors get to like red as much. It might be blue or yellow, but you don't really see red, and you can see that. I mean, even on these big dips, we were white. So, but this is the micro E-mini Dow. What is curious here, look the opposite, and this is kind of nice to see. White line has now penetrated back down through that red. That's basically reverse of what we look for on the upside, right? And look, the orange and blue line have penetrated. Like I said here, we would probably want that orange line to be a little closer to the red zone there. But I'm telling you, watch this. It's going to turn over. Flavors. I know he's watching Japanese everything, but I can tell you this, which this is interesting here. This is very interesting. This white line is penetrating through that red zone right now. If this thing gets up to these extremes, this is going higher. That's not what Jake wants to see. Jake wants this thing down here in the 150s. Because you can see back here, back last year, this was September of 24. That's what he's referred to in his video a couple times when it began to unravel before. And it's amazing how it reached that level twice. And, there's probably some type of intervention, I would imagine, with rate decisions or whatever else, monetary policy. But you can see where we are now, which is pretty close to a triple top. So very, very, very interesting here for the old yen here. I would not be here shortly. And I think if you have some Venezuelan developments and some oil spikes, that's going to trigger it. So on that front, I do agree with him. But on the XRP front, like I said, I'm going to continue to monitor actually the zones and what we do. Could XRP jump to 100? I mean, sure, I guess. It's all based on supply, demand, use case. So, but I hope it does, because people, myself included. Let's see. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Man. Can y'all hear me? Okay. All right. Yeah, at least I can. So, yeah, just give me a like a thumbs up or whatever every now and then, just so I know it's still working. Because, like I said, it's pouring rain here. So, Laura said, "Can't hear you anymore." Yeah, she can hear me. Okay. They raised 25. I hope I got some good prices stock market too. Yeah, I think on the stock market, I think it's going to be similar to COVID era. So if you look back in March of 2020, and we can actually, I don't need to do it, but if you go back and look at 2020, the market tanked like in a day or two, and then within a day or two, I mean, that's when it started a V-shaped recovery. So I think that's kind of what we're going to see here. Just how volatile is it going to be? How they're going to inflict max pain, because this is, again, I think this is the final shakeout before the life-changing pump in a lot of these solid tokens that are in your top 50 at least. And some of these, I think H-bars even, I forgot what H-bar's rank is, but I think it's actually lower than that. Actually, let's see if I got Coinbase up. Let's see. Let's look at all H-bar and see where we're ranked on H-bar. Number 23. Okay, yeah, it's top 50. Yep. So yeah, so I'll open it up to the chat now. Like I said, I can go through some more of these, or if y'all have had enough of me and my ugly face, then we can close down the shop and come back tomorrow. But y'all just let me know if y'all have any other topics you wanted to talk about. I think. Let me ask y'all this. I'm is creating Zoom calls where we could actually interact and people could actually speak. Because I think that would be absolutely fun, actually hearing from people and getting on a little more personal level, where it's not just typing in a chat in YouTube. I mean, I'm going to keep doing live streams here, but I think Zoom calls could be cool. But what do y'all think about that? Let me know.
Keep your eyes wide. TCP Supersystem.
And I don't know what it's doing on y'all's end, but yeah, my streaming software keeps disconnecting and reconnecting, so I don't know if it's having a massive issue on the stream or not. I hope not. I hope I don't go back and watch this and be like, oh my goodness, but we'll see. That would be cool. Yeah, I think it would be. And then people can obviously choose whether they want to be on camera or not. I wouldn't have any problem with people not being on camera, but start building a community that's interested in crypto, that's not trying to take advantage of people or scam people. Because I'll tell you what, I probably get, I don't know, probably 15 to 30 text messages and calls every single day trying to get me to click on something, or someone's accessing my Coinbase account, and I'm like, no, you're not. And half the time, I've actually called them back before just to mess with them. They start cussing at me and telling me to do bad things to my family members. See it if you sit down, slow down, and just think about it. There's lots of scammers out there, and I'll go ahead and caveat it with this: I'll never ask you for anything. So just know that I'm nowhere near the size of these other YouTubers, so I don't think people are going to be impersonating me at this point in time. But I think I get like 20 messages a week from fake Jakes, because if you follow his stuff, you're going to be targeted. So just and that's nothing on him. It's just there's lots of scammers that know he's popular and know he has a lot of viewers, and they create fake profiles with his picture. Then they'll start texting you saying, "Hey, start your LLC with me," and all this stuff, and it's truly remarkable. But yeah, I'm in a couple other groups that we do that. Cool, yeah. So. Yeah, and again, we can still do the same kind of thing, even in the Zoom chat. We can still share screens and look at charts and any kind of news or whatever, or just chat. Sometimes people just need an outlet to chat and talk to people who have similar interests, and just makes everybody feel good. So, yeah. So that's probably coming next year, probably first or second quarter. Probably at least start offering a Zoom call for those that want to be on it, and then we can see where that goes from there. But I gotta go walk away. Good night. All right, Lisa. Yeah, have a good night. Appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully some of this brings some value to you. So we'll see you in the next time. And I think that's gonna be it, folks. I'll give y'all one more option here, just to, if y'all want to see any other token tonight, give you about 20 seconds to put it in the chat, or I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And while I'm waiting on that, I'll just say again, appreciate all the support. If you can, share the content with your friends that are interested in crypto. Certainly appreciate that. I think we broke over 600 subscribers now, so pretty awesome to see that. Like I said, I'm not really trying to do this to make money on YouTube. I'm just sharing information that has helped me in my life. So hopefully y'all get some value from all this and some benefit. So Jazz, oh, that's a token. Okay, hang on one second. Jasmine, let's see. What exchange? Oh, it's on Coinbase. Okay. Ooh. Oh, lucky. All right, so we're getting some level 3 diamonds on the weekly here, and some good color schemes on the hot sensors. So when I see that, I do want to go over here and see if we have any data. Yes, we do. Check here. Ooh. Okay. So I hope you can see this. This is the leverage liquidation heat map. We have a 0 at basically, and we're talking about just a little bit of money here, like $900 of leverage here, $1,650, $500. So we get to 0 at, come on, let's call it right there, 0.0045. But you can see this area here for this token. There's a lot of leverage here, or what's considered a high leverage for this token, at 0.011. And then your top zone up here would be anywhere from a penny and a half up to 0.016. So at a minimum here, let's call it 0.011 with a potential low of around 0.005. So that's a double up. So not bad. I don't really know. I've never heard of that one. I don't know if that's a meme coin or an actual token with use case. But obviously it's, being below a penny. Ones like that, I mean, honestly, this one, again, you can see, so obviously we're approaching that leverage zone, right? And you can see some of the price action in the past, just to kind of show you how this system's played out. Our only level 3 diamond we've had on the downside was back here on August 3rd of 24. And you can see it went sideways from there, then up all the way to 0.05. Where we had level 3 diamonds on the upside. So that would have been a beautiful return. And then now, well, let me say, that's the only level 3 diamond on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, you can see we had level 3 here with a spike, level 3 here. With all 3 hot sensors on the weekly being red, that's hard to do. So yeah, if that's one you're in, like I said, I can't tell anyone to buy or sell, but I can tell y'all, that's a good looking chart. Now, granted, I don't know how high this thing can go or what it's going to be used for. And there's probably other horses out there that would probably return much higher. That is Jasmine. Uh-oh. All right, so I think I may have lost y'all. I'm back. It looks like it's back, I think. So it's supposed to be utilized in Japan. Oh, well, I'll have to go do some research on that then. If it's... like I said, I mean, I think XRP is the main token for Japan. I mean, I've done a lot of research on Japan and this carry trade, and kind of hard not to go there for that one. But yeah, I'll take a peek at that. I'll do some research just to learn more about it. So thanks for that one. But yeah, good looking chart. So, yep, no problem. I think that's going to be it for tonight, folks. It's past 10 o'clock my time. Thank y'all again. This is awesome. I love the engagement. I think the live streams are much better when people can chat and ask for certain things. Yeah, good night, Laura. We'll see y'all next time. I'll probably be here tomorrow. I may put out some shorts, may do some other quick little videos, and then maybe a live stream tomorrow or just a recording. We'll see. But thank y'all again. Have a great night. Be blessed, and get prepared, because I think next year is going to be a really great time for this market. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.